guys, welcome to another episode of Cocktails with the Homies. My name is Daniel. I'll be your host this afternoon. In going with our trend of just different episodes, today I am not joined by a bartender. Well, I guess you were a bartender.
I was a bartender for a while.
In the past, yeah. But as of late, I'm joined by someone who, again, is kind of forging their own path in this industry and figuring out how they can make a life with not just being a bartender or a bar ambassador. I think this industry is very unique in this way of like being able to hustle, right, and make it out of what you got.
Yeah.
Right. Logan, if you want to introduce yourself to the people, let them know what you do and where you are. My
name is Logan Mitchell. I am the co-owner operator of Collins Coupe and Tablespoon, which is much newer. We are a pantry and kitchen supply store. We also carry a lot of local brands to San Diego and a lot of small batch stuff. And I am also a chef of a cellar door supper club, and I also work for a nonprofit called Zero Foodprint that works with food and beverage industry to generate grant funding for farmers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you kind of like, does that nonprofit support people here in San Diego?
Yeah, so we actually have a few food and beverage partners here in San Diego that they donate part of their revenue to us. We actually won a James Beard Award in 2020 for Humanitarian of the Year.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We are sort of born out of the industry. Our founder was the founder chef of Mission Chinese Food.
Okay.
And one of our founders was also the founder of Lucky Peach magazine. So we are definitely like born of the industry.
Wow.
And it kind of like giving the industry people a way to basically like give back to the environment and bridge the gap between like what the good that we want to do and like there's a stopping point in which like you try to do good sustainable work and
Sure.
like there's a point in which you just can't do anymore.
Yeah.
And so they did some case studies in carbon footprint and basically realized that in doing a study at Noma, a study at like just a regular neighborhood restaurant, and a study at a home cooked meal, that all of those meals have the same carbon footprint, and most of it, like 85%, comes from farming.
Wow.
And so by helping farmers transition their practices, we can do way better in reversing climate change. So that's what we do.
Well,
yeah.
Just from the start, I feel like there's a lot to kind of unpack.
Yeah.
But I think the best point is the beginning. How did you get started in kind of this self-made path of the industry that, I really can't stress, it's just very rare. Like, I've been in this industry a long time, and it's just like, it's very few and far in between that you find people that kind of like, lace up their boots and kind of make that path their own. Yeah,
I feel like if you asked me 10 years ago, are you going to own a business? I don't think that I would have like said yes. It wasn't a thing that I planned to do. Mm-hmm. We started our supper club in 2011, and that was just something that was sort of a fun thing to do. And I always loved cooking. I knew that I never wanted to work in an actual restaurant.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that are in the industry that I know and own restaurants, and they always just sort of looked dead inside. It's a really hard industry.
Guilty.
Guilty
of it.
And I love it. I love being part of it. I love volunteering as a chef. I love doing events. I love doing catering events. I love doing that. But I think that as a way to fully exist as a human being, I think that's something that would immediately be like not fun anymore. Mm-hmm. And when the opportunity came up to open the store, Collins Coupe, it was more like my husband's thing, and I just wanted to be supportive. I had a job. I was working at a home decor design company. I was running their prototyping shop.
Okay.
And that was a pretty stable job. And so it was more like, I'm just, I'll be here to support you and, in this industry. And I also had been a bartender and been like a server and stuff for a really long time. So I kind of I was just there to support.
Sure.
And then I got laid off during COVID, and that kind of, ushered me in a little bit more. And I'm somebody who I don't like a 5-year plan because I never know what's going to happen. So I'm like, all right, this is happening now. Like I'm a good pivoter. I'm like, great, okay, let's just do this.
Yeah.
And I think that comes from I grew up without a safety net. I don't have no generational wealth at all. Like my parents, no money. Like we just grew up pretty poor, and so it's like I'm just used to trying to figure it out.
I mean, what a philosophy for a chef, right? Work with what you got.
Yeah, you just work with what you got, and you just kind of take it one day at a time. And I think just my sense of community, I try to keep it pretty, I try to work with my community and support other people, and I think that helps to feel like I'm supported as well. And so just taking it day to day, it seems like, I don't know, that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, for sure. You just got to figure it out.
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
Make it work, right?
Yeah.
Was there a life in this industry prior to you working at your corporate job, or you kind of, obviously other than the bartending and the serving, did you have a culinary interest before that, or?
Yeah, so when I lived in San Francisco, I had a cookie business, and that was really fun. That was in Twitter era. So it was I started this cookie cart, and it was truly prime Twitter era. We actually, we catered the Twitter conference.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was 2007 to 2009 when I did that.
Yeah.
And so, that was really fun. And I think I did. I went to the Wired magazine office and sold cookies in their break room once. It was really weird. But yeah, I never really wanted to work in a kitchen, but it was something that cooking was always something that was really interesting to me. I think I have a degree in product design, and that sort of art/engineering, kind of tactile kind of creation was something that I think cooking also spoke to me really well in that way.
Yeah. It's the same thing, just organic
It
matter,
really
right?
is. Yeah. It's creating something out of what you have available to you.
Yeah.
And so when we sort of created the opportunity to do our supper club, it was just all right, cool, I'm going to challenge myself with this.
Sure.
And it just kind of grew into what it is now.
I love it.
Yeah.
That seems like a very... I feel like a lot of people who fall into it just unwittingly, yeah. I didn't plan for this.
No.
But, some people talk about having their first bite or making their first dish, and then just I didn't see a life after it.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing that this industry has that kind of allure to people, because it's it's all types of people, all walks of life. They have that one instance with a dish or cooking or food or people or drinking or whatever the case may be, and they're just I fell in love.
Yeah.
I forsake the whole thing I was doing and, just started doing this.
Yeah, and I feel like there was this, historically, working in a kitchen or a restaurant was kind of too lowbrow for a lot of people. And I feel like there was this moment, maybe, I don't know, 20 years ago where people were in it for the fame. Top Chef and all of this. Everyone's I'm going to go to culinary school and I'm going to get famous.
Sure.
And I feel like that's kind of subsided, and now people are in it because they love it.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be those people that are I went to culinary school and now where's my TV show? But there is now a little bit more honor for people who are in it for the love of it, and you can actually make a living at it now.
Yeah.
In a way that I think even 30 years ago it was not considered something that was respectable unless you worked at the one nice restaurant in your town.
Yeah. That was when Michelin was very highly regarded. I became a chef because I wanted 3 stars, and it's just I don't know, this day and age is just so different. Yes, there's this whole road to Michelin, but nothing is so alluring or attractive than the energy of someone who truly just doesn't give a fuck. Making what they want, serving it how they see it,
truly,
and then making their fucking living. Like,
I know, it's so good.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
It's just like the most badass fuck you I can ever see in like people making it.
Yeah, I mean that's
like,
literally why, like, you know, just all these chef shows that are on, you know, it's like they're so good. Like The Bear, I mean, that's literally like the entire premise of The Bear. Yeah. And everybody loves it because he's like doing his own thing, and he's just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
I like The Bear. The Bear brings a good understanding of the duality of like doing whatever the fuck you want and having that attitude, but like, again, full circle into like what this is. It's just like, well, you got to think of the capitalism of it all. You got to think of like the numbers. Does it make sense? This and that. It's just like there's just so much that you got to quantify with just this raw kind of energy and raw drive that you got to, again, quantify and make it make sense and have it be a productive business model. And
and the humanity.
Yeah, and then the humanity gets lost in all of that, right? And all that creative to all that like business savvy understanding of it all. So it's like it's so many aspects that come together to kind of give this right. So, you know, that's why I truly commend people that have that I don't give a fuck, because it's just like, damn, bro, you don't give a fuck and you're still making $1, which means you have to give a fuck.
you have to, in a way. And I'll tell you what, like, owning a business it's challenging.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's tough. Like, you want to do the right thing for your employees, and for me, like, that's number one.
Yeah.
And it has to be, because I don't get paid. Like, I don't take a paycheck, and neither does my husband. Like, we don't get paid. We pay our people, and like that's something that is really important to us. And like, you know, it is what it is, right? Like, we've created something, and like that means something. But at the end of the day, we're working for free. But we work for our community and we work for our people, and like hope that someday it'll get there. Like, you know, we're getting there. Hopefully.
Well, I think that you win a lot of battles every day.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, a lot of people come here because you guys offer such a good product. And, you know, truly, shouts out to these guys for having great things in their store. Yeah. You truly do have things that people come in, and, you know, a super good example is, you know, when Gary brought up competitions, and like, I know when a competition comes in, and, you know, that speaks a lot, because that's, again, international and nationwide things, events that get, again, recognition all over, and they choose your store because of the quality of the product, because of they know that it's curated. They know that things that they get in there are worth it. They're worth it to go spend money to show to these people of maybe higher brow or whatever the case, to win. And to know that, like, hey, this is like the best product I could possibly have put in this cup that also came from one of the best places that I could possibly think of to get this cup. Yeah. You know, it truly lends to what you guys do and your ethos as a business.
Yeah, and this store specifically, like, this was kind of like my nod to that, you know, like my version of Collins Coupe. It's obviously much smaller and all that, but like, you know, I think a lot of people start cooking and they think that they're bad cooks because recipes are bad, tools are bad, you know, nobody taught them how to like use their stove. And I think, you know, like, I want to show them that like a $6 sheet pan is all they need. You know, they don't need to like buy like some air bake $30 bullshit nonstick thing from, you know, whatever super nice kitchen store. Like, they don't need that. They don't need to use that. Just get a cast iron pan and like this thing, you know, just like a $5 like mixing bowl, like, and you start there. Like, start with the stuff that chefs know how to buy at the kitchen supply store. Yeah. Like, and you know, I think I stock things in the store that I use at my house, in my kitchen, And I think that's the same thing that we do at Collins Coupe, is like, these are things that bartenders use, and we are stocking them because we want people to know how to make a good cocktail, and they don't need all the bullshit. Like, they don't need all these like fancy stupid things that aren't actually very good.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, we pack as much in as we can. It's like in this tiny little store.
I love it. I mean, and again, it's what truly sets you apart, because you bridge that understanding of your product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can go to a lot of these kitchen stores and talk to the people selling it and try to get some bit of information out of them, but at the end of the day, these people are they just hawk the product.
Sure.
That's all.
Right.
But here you cook with it, you try to make money off of it in a living, and then you put it in your store, and you're like, no, seriously, believe us. We put this out here because so and so. Like,
and I want you to never buy this again.
Yeah, like I understand why I didn't buy these 3 different items, and this is why I put this one up here, because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You know, and it comes from you truly using it and giving a shit and like seeing why it's a good product.
Yeah.
Which again is truly why I think you guys should come out here and pick up some product. Like, it really is good. You guys have such a cool ethos towards what you do, because again, you take the product and you go and try and do something good with it. Yeah. You know,
it's a lot of really cool vintage stuff too.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot of our vintage cookbooks are from a local chef who was like, he's like retired now, and he's like cleaned out all his stock, and he brought him in. And so
when do you hear that at a Barnes and Noble? Like, we got all of our product from a chef.
Yeah, and some of them are like monogrammed with his name. It's really fun. You
know, that's super cool. I love that you guys kind of give this vibe to your stores, because, you know, you truly do have the city coming in here, and I don't know anyone who doesn't know these 2 places. Truly.
Well, and if they don't, tell them.
I know, right? And if they don't, let them know.
Yeah.
So tell me about how, you know, the journey of you blending your cooking into having a store kind of goes together, because that must be a really interesting and, like, I would think, like, easier way to kind of like sell this product. It goes from you like finding out what made it so good and so useful to like you trying to impart that to your guests.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like, you know, part of how I stock the shelves, right, is like my trial and error of the things that I like to cook with and the things that I stock in my own kitchen, is bringing the you know, the restaurant supply store to you, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think, when I go to people's houses, like, they don't have like the 5-quart mixing bowl, right? They don't have that stuff in their house. They don't even know where to find it.
Yeah.
Like, even I had a hard time finding that stuff. And same with Collins Coupe, when we were trying to find like just mixing tins 10 years ago, it was impossible. It was like almost impossible to find that stuff. Just super simple mixing tins. Like, we had such a hard time. And so, you know, that was like kind of part of getting there. And I think a lot of times, like, chefs are very secretive about, like, they think that if they tell people how to make their food or how they like, you know, if they tell them their secrets, then they won't, it's like people won't come back. You know, like, they'll make it themselves. They're like, I don't need to go to a restaurant anymore. Like, that's not how this works.
I never understood that.
You know, that's not how this works. Like, just because you know how to paint your own nails, you're never going to go to the nail salon. Like, the whole point is the doing of the thing, like going to the thing. Like, I can make good food at home, but I don't want to do my own dishes, you know? Like, I want to go and have someone do it for me.
Yeah.
And so the whole experience is part of it. And so, like, I also want to help people be better. You know, so I'm always happy to give recipes. I'm always happy to help people do better. Like, education was such a huge part of why we started, you know, like why we started opening, you know, I teach cooking classes. Like, I do these things, like we do cocktail classes, and just the education part of it was always so important to me that it just made sense that I would want to stock the shelves with things that like help people be better cooks.
Yeah. That's definitely something I learned very early in my cooking. Luckily, right? Not a lot of people get this kind of wisdom imparted, but someone told me, like, a great cook will make you a great meal.
Yeah.
But a great chef will give you a great experience. And it's true, it almost has nothing to do with the food, because again, we're like, this is like the only industry that transcends the thing in front of you. It's about the soul, the history, the origins of the food, like all of it lends to the greatness of the experience that you just had. But if at the end of the day you're walking with, wow, that was like a really tasty meal, then like, I love that the recent vibe of chefs is like, well, I didn't really do the best job. If all you left was going yum, like I'm a great cook.
Yeah.
But like a great chef, you'll leave going like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you probably have gone to a place and had a great experience, and your food wasn't even that good.
Oh yeah.
And that's not even like, it wasn't the point, right?
Exactly.
You had a great, you had a great company, you had a great cocktail, you were sitting in a beautiful space. Like, there's so many factors that go into like having a great meal that are not even the food. And like, that's the thing with our supper club is, like, imagine this room but in our house. Like, it's like all just, there's such a lot of stuff to look at and like things to do, and we always made a point to like make it feel like one of the like sort of tenets of our supper club was, we want people to realize halfway through that they're not in a restaurant. Just like, oh right, I'm in someone's house. And when I was working at Zuni Cafe, our manager said to us once that like the like one of the hallmarks of really good service is that they want people to not notice anything. They don't want you to notice that their glass isn't full. They don't want people to notice that their fork is dirty. They don't want people to notice these things. Like, they just want you to sit through your meal and just like have a good time and like not notice that their water is empty. Like, these things just happen around them, right? Yeah. And so that's like the kind of service that we give to people. And like, it's just, there's just so much happening. And like, yes, I know that the food that I make is good, but at the end of the day, like, there's so much more to the experience that like, I think that that's like much more about like the experience people are having is like all of it. It's like a whole package.
Yeah, and I think private events truly gives that experience because when you say private event, I think you like off the get-go strip all that kind of expectation that you would at a restaurant, right? It's kind of like it leaves it up to this air of unknown because it's just a private event. Who knows? Who knows what I'm gonna get? When I was at Anime doing private events there, it's just like I felt like I was such a director of how you were gonna feel in these 2 hours, and that was so cool because I wasn't limited or I wasn't confined of the image of what the restaurant was because we're in a whole private space. So that must be truly kind of enriching, taking them to your home.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not even the restaurant. It's not even a separate building. It's like, this is your home.
Yeah.
This is the place that you hold like near and dear. And then you have these strangers come in there and you're trying to give them an experience that, unmatched.
Well, and most of the time they didn't know each other either.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So,
wow.
and we specifically only took parties of up to 2, 1 or 2. So the table, because we learned pretty early on that if the party was 4, that they wouldn't talk to each other.
Got it. So pushed interaction. Okay.
Yeah. So it was 1 or 2, and the table was 10, and so it forced people to talk to each other. And if you had a party of 4. Ever like occasionally people wanted a party of 4 and we would ask them to sit apart from each other.
No shit.
I would say, please, if you want a party of 4, I need your party to split up into 2 and sit apart from each other. And if you wanted a party of more than that, you had to book the whole table.
Wow, what an understanding of the social contract that you have at these events.
Yeah, and that was the point.
Whoa.
We really wanted people to get to know each other, and it was really special. Like, it was really something that I think the guests really appreciated. It was great.
I think that begs the question for me is, did it ever get awkward doing that? Because you have to There
were 1 or 2 times that things were a little bit weird, but in 14 years of doing it, like that's very few times.
Really?
Yeah. One time, became very clear that somebody brought his mistress.
Oh no.
And they got very, very drunk. We realized about halfway through the meal that they had been refilling their water glasses with some sort of clear spirit. And they were really drunk.
Right.
Yeah. And then she started not so quietly being upset that he wasn't going to leave his wife for her.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then she got really drunk. She was doing the kind of head bobby thing, and then he just disappeared for a while, and we were like, oh no, what's going on? And I was in the kitchen, the way it is, our kitchen is pretty separate. So I was in the kitchen oh my God, Gary, what do we do? Do we take his keys? How do we do this? They can't drive. What do we do? And she was just at the table by herself for a good 10 minutes. And we were just I don't know what to do here. This is very weird. And everybody at the table could tell what was going on. It was just very awkward. And then he reappeared, and he had gotten them an Uber or something, and then just took her away before dessert, and it was just a very strange situation. And then as soon as they left, the whole table was like, oh my God, what is happening? It was
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, it was a great bonding experience for that rest of the table. But it was, that was a very weird situation.
That must have been super cool dessert talk.
They'll never forget it. The rest of the people at the table will never forget that experience. And then the other thing that happened once was somebody brought someone else that obviously did not know what they were in for.
Yeah.
And they just were not having it. They didn't like the food. They were just kind of a little bit of a princess, and they just were they just were not having a good time.
Aww.
But other than that, in 10, 15 years or whatever, honestly,
it's expected. It's expected. Yeah. Some things like that.
But overall, our guests have been really great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It sounds again, a very unique experience to bring, again, someone into your home. And it's just I feel another level of vulnerability in what you do and in your cooking and in Gary's cocktail making, because it's one thing to kind of dive into this industry, and then it's another thing to bring them home.
Yeah.
And kind of put it all out there on your kitchen table, because at the end of the night, you're just sitting at that same kitchen table going well, shit.
Yeah. It's, and when we first started doing it, I was really concerned that actual restaurant people would be really they would be really opposed or averse to what we were doing and not happy about it, because we're not paying overhead in the same way and all this. But actually, we had a lot of restaurant owners. We did the holiday party for Wrench and Rodent. We did the holiday party for Garden Kitchen. We've had a lot of chefs come over and really enjoy it. Our very first reservations were the owners of Anissimo Cheese.
Great.
Really wonderful. Really wonderful people have come through our table and had a great time. And I think that part of that has been that we we have always volunteered for everything we've been asked to volunteer for, and even things we weren't. We've always tried to be really involved in the community and give back to the community, and that's also gotten us into a lot of really great events. I think working back of house at an event is way better than buying a ticket and going to it. It's so much more fun.
It's so cool.
So much more fun.
You see chefs just in a different regard, because they're not trying to make money.
No.
It's not their business.
They're
there to just cook.
You're just eating and chatting and making stuff, and it's just so much more fun that way. Yeah, it's great.
And then behind the scenes of them all, chefs are fucking pirates, man. They're some absolutely don't give any care in the world.
No, it's so great. Yeah,
cool.
At our wedding, Chef Hannes grilled a whole pig for us as a
cool.
wedding gift, and Chef Davin from Wrench and Rodent set up a sushi bar for us as a wedding gift. It was so kind and lovely, and we've been very fortunate to have been embraced in the community in the way that we have.
Yeah, again, it's very hard to not be embraced in the whole ethos of it all around here. It's kind of just this is what we want to do. this is how we're gonna do it, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like, we're just gonna do it.
Well, and I feel like that's the thing. So I came from San Francisco, as I mentioned before, and like I feel like in San Francisco there's this sort of like scarcity kind of mindset where, I mean, it's the city is finite, right? It's so small.
Yeah.
And it's like there's this idea, and again, I moved a long time ago. I was there from like 2002 to 2011. And it's like there's only so much to go around that it's a little bit competitive. And like I came down here and everybody is like so supportive of each other, you know? It's like there's always more for people. And everybody, like the bar community and the restaurant community is just like, I'm going to go to your event. I'm going to come to your thing. Like, I want to support you. And even when I went to Tales of the Cocktail a few weeks ago, like we had some people in some competitions, and like the San Diego community like showed up for her in a way that nobody showed up for anyone else in that competition.
Yeah.
Like there were more people in San Diego community that showed up for this one contestant than were in the entire, like the entire rest of the people that were there.
Yeah.
Like it was all San Diego just for her, and then the rest of the people that were there. Like it was really special, and that made sense to me. Like just this community really does show up for it itself.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Eliza, right? Eliza was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. We had her on a couple weeks ago, and killer in this industry.
Yeah.
Super good-hearted. But I do believe that the people around here have this kind of unified understanding and feeling that we're on the way up.
Yeah.
And I think we're just taking that way up so fucking humbly. Like, we know we're not New York. We don't want to be LA.
No.
Like, we are San Diego. And this just, we're going to do it how we do it.
Yeah, we're just going to prove it slowly.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
and
great.
I truly, truly love the attitude that this city has towards the people in it and towards our kind of unspoken understanding that we're on the fucking way up. And we're going to be one of the, if not already, one of the greatest beverage and food cities that is around. Because, like, no other city in America has Tijuana next to it. No other city is sharing the most crossed border in the world. Like, I think we have very particular cool things only in this city in our country. Yeah. And we're finally kind of like understanding how beautiful that is.
Yeah, and the fact that people are just now starting to recognize it means that like we are just taking our time to like get better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
You know, like if they started to recognize it 10 years ago, we already would have been really wonderful, but like we're just getting so much better in the meantime, you know.
Yeah. I love the place and these people, and like even when I met you and Gary when we're working at Wormwood, like you guys were just very supportive of what was going on and of the bartending, and it's just like, again, it lends to this beautiful group that is striving for the same goal of just making it good. Yeah. Making whatever it is that you're doing the best possible thing that you can make it, and just offering it in the city. Yeah. And I love it. Absolutely. I love it. I really appreciate you and Gary for having these kind of pillars for people to come to and to take from, and you guys, you know, always keeping your glasses full to be able to give that. Thank you. Like, that's special. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but it really is something special that you guys do here. You don't sell cups, you don't sell measuring tools, you sell a little bit of experience, you sell a little bit of curated love, and it just comes in the form of a glass. That means a lot. Thank you. Yeah, but it's filled with all your experience, it's filled with all your love and understanding and your goal of just to help push these people forward. Yeah, that means a lot. That keeps us going. Yeah, it really is. It really is cool, and what you guys do is really is beautiful. Thank you. So cheers. I'll cheers to that because. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you again. I'm gonna cheers our musubi now. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Cheers. So I have a question for you that, you know, oh, that egg is so good. It's so good in there, right? That egg is so good. So you guys, you have this passion, you have this job, you take it home. Where do you delineate a line and have some fucking time? even at your house, which when you look up, it's just like everything else. Like,
I know.
You don't want to think about for a second.
I know. It's really hard. We used to try to go out of town every month for like just like a couple days, like a weekend or something.
Sure.
Lately, it's been a little harder, but I think that's kind of, we try to like remove ourselves from it, like at least every like couple of months, like just like physically take ourselves out of the space and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think
have to.
You have to. Yeah, you have to. I think that's been the only way to like actually get out of it. But we've been at this a long time, and we're really fortunate. We love working together, so that does help. But we can definitely like get to it.
Which also, honestly, must be a mission in and of itself. Working with each other, day in, day out.
It is a lot, but it's just the way we've always been. So it's not like, people do. I have heard so many people be like, I could never work with my spouse, and my partner, like we'd kill each other, and it's like, this is just the way we've always done it.
Yeah.
And it's always been good. But yeah, it definitely takes like, okay, we're just gonna go have dinner together. We're gonna do this thing, or we're gonna go, just go drive to Palm Springs for a couple days. Do something different.
Yeah. We have to. I'm in the same boat. I work with my partner, and I did that in the past in a different setting. I was one of the chefs, and she worked as the expo. So a different dichotomy between me and her then, as to oppose now when she's a bartender and I'm on the front of the house, and it's unique. It's something different to like, especially again in the restaurant industry. It's not a 9 to 5. Like,
no, it's not.
High pressure, high anxiety. But I think people who can do that, there's not like, what other things can you not do? Like, you can work together. Like, you can make work. You just have to be very like, I mean, I hate to say this word, very mindful about how you spend your time. Like, even if it's just let's make dinner together and like watch a show that we like, just like doing the thing that you like to do together that's not work. Even if it's just a couple hours. Oh yeah. I think it makes you focus on the quality of said thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
It's not just like, oh, let's have dinner, because any other job is dinner's the thing. But here you're having dinner all day for your shift, right? Like that's dinner. Yeah. So you turn around and you try to just do something so different and just turn
something.
it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you just had a baby, so that's a whole other thing.
I did.
I mean, the stores are my baby, so like that's part of it, right? And like I imagine right now, that's the only thing you guys talk about is just like it's a baby this, baby that, right?
I try my best not to.
Yeah, no, but it's kind of sometimes you just have to.
Yeah. Honestly, having a baby is like, it's throwing a wrench into this lifestyle, because this lifestyle obviously was not made to have kids.
No. Nope.
But I just feel
this economy was not made to have kids.
Seriously.
That's really what it is.
Like, honestly. Yeah. This society is just like, it's so counterintuitive to having a kid in some regards. Like, thank God we're just so blessed to have family and people that care, and like a whole restaurant came to our baby shower and like provided us with things, and just like, I've never seen people come together so hard.
That's so cool.
For something so unabout themselves. That, I was just...
It's so commonplace, right?
Yeah.
Like, people have kids every day.
Yeah.
But they wanted to take care of you.
Yeah, and we felt taken care of. That's really cool. It was just so beautiful. Like, I bring it up all the time, but working in this industry is just so unique. It's like, it's like no other industry. Yeah. It's
true.
It really is one that just... You cannot help but fill it with love and soul if you're doing it for the right reasons. Like, if you're just going in to clock in and like make some cash and walk out, like, yes, there's a place for you, but I feel, again, in San Diego, it's just filled with so many people just doing way more than that.
Yeah.
Like,
you can make a lot more money somewhere else if that's all you're trying to do.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
You can go make a couple $100, clock in, clock out, and that's it. And go focus on whatever else you're doing in life. But if this is your life and you kind of share that same essence with the people around you, it is such a cool coming together of so many different types of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is, because like food is just like the best binder.
Yeah,
of
absolutely
people.
it is.
Yeah. But
yeah,
thank you. Thank you for coming here and joining us and letting and cooking for us.
Yeah.
Like, this is such a beautiful change up to what we normally do here at Cocktails with the Homies.
Yeah.
We still got to share a cocktail.
We did.
Which, bless Gary.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it worked out.
Still coming in for us. But yeah, I really appreciate what you're doing here. And
thank you.
Oh, actually, I'd love for you to touch on your nonprofit.
Yeah.
Because I think a nonprofit is like almost a natural evolution to working in this industry. It's
totally.
Just like, you just want to help at some point. You see where we're lacking in terms of the humanity, and it's just like so many people kind of pivot and go to nonprofits and just help make up that lack of.
Yeah. So Zero Foodprint is the name. We started in 2019. Like I was mentioning, the founder used to be a chef. He started Mission Street Food, which became Mission Chinese Food. You're familiar with the restaurant?
Yeah.
And he also started the restaurant called The Perennial, which was in Oakland, and it was like focused on regenerative produce and food. And realized that like by doing so, by serving all this regenerative food, he kind of thought that it would basically make more of a difference to both the farmers and to like the climate and all of this. And
real quick, touch on regenerative food.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
regenerative basically is like,
it's like a new kind of topic of food.
It is, and it's kind of a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. I think it doesn't mean. It means something, but it doesn't mean anything at the same time. So when it comes to farming, regenerative can mean like, it's also like climate smart is what people say, or like carbon farming. It essentially means that like you farm with the land and you sequester carbon out of the atmosphere. So if you have like a plot of land that's just like dry soil and there's nothing on it, there is basically like all the carbon in the soil is just in the atmosphere, and that's what is basically like making all of our climate problems. So if you have like soil that's like rich with water and nutrients and has grass growing and all the things like plants and all the stuff, then it pulls carbon out of the atmosphere and it holds it in the soil. And it's more resilient to like weather issues, and there's actually, we have a photo that after all there were fires in during COVID that happened of a regenerative farm that like, it's the difference between like somebody who grows soy year round and like has to like put down a bunch of pesticides in order to keep it growing, or somebody who like somebody who like grows with the seasons, and rotates crops and stuff like that. They're growing that way, and their neighboring farms are growing the same thing all year round, and the fire basically just like jumped over their farm. So like around them it's just like burnt.
It's so lush.
Yeah, and because it holds more water in the ground, and like the crops are just more resilient. And so it just sequesters carbon out of the atmosphere. So basically, like they did this case study, like I was saying, about the carbon footprint of cooking and food, and they just realized that like no matter how good you do as a restaurant, you can compost and do all these different things, and like you're just never going to be able to like bridge the gap of like your carbon footprint. Like it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So all the good that they were doing
from the source.
Yeah. So all the good they were doing at the Perennial, even buying from regenerative farms and all this stuff, like the farmers were like, thanks for all the business, but we're at capacity. Like we can't do better.
Yeah.
And so people were coming into the restaurant and they were like, this is really amazing. Like we would love to buy this. Like where can we get this amazing thing that you're serving us? And they're like, well, you just ate the last one. Like we don't have any more, And So they ended up closing the restaurant, and he like dove super deep into, you know, climate issues and all this stuff, and then started the organization. And it was kind of on the forefront of people realizing how quickly regenerative farming can actually reverse climate change.
Yeah.
And so he started the organization. It started in San Francisco, obviously, and the idea is that restaurants can give 1% of their revenue to our organization, and we turn those into micro grants for farmers. And the farmers use the money up to $25,000 per grant, and they take those funds and they use them for to convert their practices to be like more regenerative. So they use them for like cover crop or compost application, or hedgerow or whatever it is. And to date, we've given over $8 million.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the equivalent of 200,000 gallons of gas not being burnt.
That's amazing.
So yeah, it's really
That's
wonderful.
Cool. What an interesting topic.
Yeah.
I had first experienced this topic when I was cooking in Northern California. I don't know if she's still around, but it was called Singing Frog Farms. Mm-hmm. If you're ever in Northern California, over by Sebastopol.
Okay. Yeah.
Sebastopol. Mm-hmm. So this lady, she was what was she? She was like a chemist.
Okay.
Something along the lines of chemistry. She had a master's, and her whole world was in the world of chemistry. And then she figured out farming and loved it, and just the whole mentality behind farmers who farm for the good of the soil mm-hmm. and the land and the product, and not just for like how much money can we make per square feet mm-hmm. is insane. And I think the beauty of her kind of concept was she was mixing mycelium, mm-hmm. a mycelium network with all of her mm-hmm. crop, and finding mycelium that worked best with certain crops. And
cool.
It was so cool how it kind of intertwined. And she was like, well, I use mushrooms as a pesticide because the mushrooms indicate to the other side of the farm when a pest is eating them.
Wow.
So it was cool. The mushrooms would kill the pest and save the plants.
Last of Us shit right there.
It was so cool. I was like,
really cool.
What a mind-blowing thing to understand. And like, not for the mushrooms, just for the network.
Wow.
She was like,
that's really cool.
It was cool. It was like an interesting understanding of like how she can turn regenerative farming and build it with coexisting with the mycelium network, and how that can just improve all of it as a unit. And
that's really cool.
I think it's just a very interesting kind of take on this industry.
Yeah.
That is like, it's so needed. Yeah. What you guys did is just so necessary.
Yeah.
For moving forward.
Yeah, and the thing that excuse me, I've got a little tickle in my throat. Let me get some water. Hang on.
It's because we're out of cocktails.
I don't have any, but I think I'm okay.
Do you want some coffee?
Maybe. A little sip of that.
It's my Puerto Rican Bam Bam.
Yum. The thing that that's actually delicious. The thing that we do that's a little bit different. So like when organic first started happening, right, everybody was like very purist about it. And I think now even so, people are like, oh, if it's not organic, like it's not certified organic, then I won't have it. It's like,
which in some cases doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. Like it means they couldn't afford to pay to get the certification. Right now, we will give the money to anyone who will use it the right way, right? They don't need to be organic. They don't need to be whatever. Like they can be just starting out in their journey of regenerative. They can just want to spread compost. That's all. Like whatever it is, it still does the work. It still sequesters carbon, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Another thing that we do actually is we have a program called Compost Connector that when we all get those little green bins at our house, like 2 years ago, and nobody knew what to do with them, and the city didn't know what to do with them either. And that's actually a whole statewide bill called SB 1383. And in the entire state, there was this situation where the state was required, county by county, was required to like purchase compost and then distribute it throughout farms but nobody knew on the county level what to do with it. And so that's why no one knew when to pick it up, and no one knew how to like do anything with it. So all the compost is going back to the landfill.
Yeah.
And so
unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. So we as an organization, which we're only 11 people, we're very small. We stepped in and we basically said, okay, well, at the city level, like we'll deal with this. And so we reimburse farmers from buying compost from the city. And we county by county have been collecting counties, and so like we actually have like part of our team does that.
That's cool.
And we just collected Santa Clara County, but in San Diego we do that. So that's another way that farmers can select a grant from us. But on the restaurant level, which is really cool, is that, like, for example, 3131 is one of our members, and they give 1% of their revenue to our program, Kingfisher as well, and a Wayfarer Bread. And Collins Coupe is actually a member. We give 1% of our provision sales. But if in any of the farmers that members use, they can get a boost in the grant process. So if like
cool.
So 3131, and they're like, oh, we use this farm, and they put that on their application, then they would be more likely to receive the grant. We also prioritize BIPOC farmers as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So not only do you do this good, but you also try to incentivize the people who are pushing this good. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we also have a couple of campaigns that we do throughout the year. This is the first year for Dirty Drinks campaign, which is coming up, which is topical for our cocktail situation.
Yeah.
It's coming up next week. So there's a couple dozen restaurants and bars throughout San Diego, close to 100 nationwide that are putting a drink on their menu that is giving $1 per drink for the week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Where can these lovely people find said restaurants?
Yeah, so we're hoping to get One Door North and Smoking Goat on board. Mr. A's, Tribute Pizza, Mabel's Gone Fishing, they're all doing $1 per drink. Good Measure North Park is doing $1 per drink. We've got, if you go to zerofootprint.com/dirty, they're all listed.
Cool.
Tons of places in San Francisco, tons of places in Portland. Sonoma County has a bunch of places. Denver, a bunch of places there. So, yeah.
All over.
Yeah, all over the place.
Well, you heard it.
Yeah.
Visit the website
zerofootprint.org/dirty.
There it is.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Logan, I really appreciate you again taking time out of your day to impart a little bit of love, soul, and wisdom of what you do.
Thank you.
To our guests and helping kind of, just push the needle for San Diego and having people understand that this place is beautiful.
Thank you.
The love that goes into our community, our food, our drinks is unmatched. It really is something special. So please go visit the website, find out what restaurants are kind of giving to this nonprofit next week. Come visit us at Collins Coupe and Tablespoon. Yeah. And thank you so much. Love you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. That's another episode of Cocktails with the Homies.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Cocktails with the Homies.